Well, I'm here with a bit of breaking news. As of last night, Tesla did indeed make a price change, and this time it was a price decrease. Now, this probably isn't too surprising on some fronts, but on others, it's kind of surprising. It's really not all that unusual for Tesla to have very erratic pricing. Of course, we had all upward trends in 2021. In 2022, we had some upward trends, and then right at the end of the year and into the beginning of this year, we've had a huge reduction in price, but that was followed by an increase for the Model Y and a decrease for the Model 3. Now, the Model 3 did go down again last night, and the Model Y has actually gone right back down following an increase that we had earlier this year. And we've also got price changes in the Model S and Model X, which went down in price as well just a couple of days after I took delivery of our brand new Model X, which is fantastic news. But there's also a new Tesla Model Y available. A new trim is now available to be ordered on the online configurator. Let's talk about all these changes right now. Real quick though, if you enjoy content just like this, be sure to like and subscribe. Starting over at the Model 3, we saw a $1,000 reduction. Standard range went from $42,990 to now $41,990. The long range, although we can't see that pricing and I cannot find one in inventory, we're assuming we're down to $48,990, which would be a $1,000 reduction. And then the performance down to $52,990. What's interesting is we also see another change on the website, specifically on the Model 3 order page. Up here at the top, Tesla has commented that now, based on this new guidance from the IRS, the standard range Model 3 is anticipated to lose half of its tax credit. So either the critical minerals or the battery components are not going to make the cut to be able to get that full tax credit. But they do anticipate still having $3,750, which is half of that. Very interesting because CATL is traditionally the supplier of LFP batteries for Tesla, so not exactly sure which is going to be the compliant piece on this. Tesla may be benefiting from one of the early stages of this new law. Foreign entities of concern will not be allowed to be in any part of the supply chain of the batteries in these cars. But that does not take effect right away. So that's probably how they're able to get half of that credit. My assumption, critical minerals that are being sent to China, where they're then being assembled with China components. And then over on the Model Y, here we have a brand new configuration available for order. Now, this is not a brand new model. We have seen this available in inventory only, and this is the Austin-made Tesla Model Y, the so-called standard range Model Y. At 279 miles of range, it does have less than the long range, but it is still all-wheel drive. Everything else is also the same in this car as far as features go. The big difference is this is made out of Giga Austin, new manufacturing process, and it does indeed come with 4680 battery cells. So there are some differences there that you may be interested in taking advantage of. Plus, now you're going to get a little bit of a discount in order to take delivery of that car versus the long range. So a $2,000 reduction from $51,990 to $49,990. The long range from $54,990 down to $52,990. And the performance at $58,990 down to $56,990. What I personally find interesting is on the Model Y side, the long range, we saw it start at $52,990 as the new price as we turned into the new year. It went up $2,000 over the beginning of this year, and now it's right back down to that $52,990. Perhaps because everybody was trying to rush their orders in without understanding exactly if they would or would not qualify for the full tax credit. Now orders have probably started to slow down a bit because there's not a mad rush. That might be why they've lowered prices. Over on the Model S and Model X, there was a $5,000 reduction. The Model S long range now starts at $84,990. The Plaid at $104,990. And on the Model X, $94,990 for the long range. And again, still the same price for the Plaid Model X as the S at $104,990. Now, one of the interesting things about the standard range Model Y is you can only order this in a 5-seat configuration. Now, if you do not know, the 4680 battery cells are a part of a structural battery pack, meaning the floor of the car is the battery pack. So when they assemble this car, the seats are actually on top of the battery pack, which is probably why you cannot order a 7-seat, at least for now. Perhaps in the future that will be coming with some new hardware. Another thing that we're looking at here is the long-range Model 3 is still not available for order on Tesla's website. This has been absent for some time now, and because of pricing, it's kind of in an awkward position, especially now with the standard range Model Y now being available at $49,990. So it's only $1,000 less than that, $4,000 less than the Model Y long range. So it's kind of in a weird spot price-wise on features that you get. Of course, we've been seeing a number of pictures from Project Highland, which is the supposed updated Model 3. Now, there is a project underway right now for the Model Y as well, and it is expected to be about 3 to 6 months behind Project Highland. So the Model 3 will be the first one to come out with a full refresh, which will have a number of new features that you will see visually on the car, and then followed by the Model Y. Now, I want to take this back to the tax credits. Tesla is officially calling out $3,750 for the standard range Model 3. And if we take the tax credits based on the information we know today and the limited information that Tesla has been sharing, it would appear that the standard range Model 3 is the only one that's limited on tax credits, meaning everything else would get the full $7,500. So here's your effective pricing on all trims, all models. Model 3 standard range would come in at $38,240. The long range would be $41,490, and the performance $45,490. Over on the Model Y, you'd be looking at a standard range at $42,490, a long range at $45,490, and the performance at $49,490. So this is really where there are some very new challenges that Tesla needs to account for. Because the standard range Model 3 only gets half of the credit, the step up from a standard range Model 3 to a long range Model 3 or to a standard range Model Y is starting to become a very small number, especially when you consider how much more car. You're not just getting more range, but you're actually getting all the premium interior features that are stripped out of the standard range Model 3. There's quite a bit of value in stepping up to a Model Y, even if it is the standard range Model Y, plus it's all-wheel drive. It's going to start to be really hard to see how Tesla is going to be able to continue to sell the standard range Model 3 in the volumes that they have. We already know that the Model Y is already taking over volume from the Model 3, and this is further going to drive that change, and the Model Y is going to continue to accelerate its position of outselling the Model 3. So until Project Highland is complete and a fully refreshed Model 3 is available for order, I would not anticipate seeing Model 3s getting some sort of new demand driver until that time. So until then, it'll be interesting to see how Tesla navigates the situation that they're in the limited time between now and Project Highland launch. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, of course, give it the thumbs up. If you haven't already, of course, subscribe to the channel as we continue to post content regularly. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Bearded Tesla. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time.